Hey, what's going on, retards? Azuki Snoy here. You know, being a part of a fandom is genuinely one of the worst things you could do, in my opinion. Typically, fandoms are one of three things. They are toxic as shit, they are circle jerky as fuck, or three, they're delusional. And in the worst cases, they're all three. Now, I wouldn't consider myself ever being a part of a fandom as much as I've been a fan, but throughout the years of me being on the internet, I've most certainly helicoptered around certain fandoms, and that's what kind of led to the making of this video today. So I sat down, I was like, you know, what fandoms do I just fucking hate? That I just need to get off of my chest that I still see to this day. Now, before I continue, let me just specify this, that I've, thanks to the YouTube chapter system, I have implemented this in between the, categories here, just so you can go jump around, assuming you don't give a flying fuck for me, shitting on a specific fandom, because maybe you don't give a fuck about anime, which is going to be the one we're talking about right now. Now, I know what you're saying.
But Snoy, aren't you an anime fan? Don't you just want to go Dick Ryan anime? Don't you want to go to Japan and change your name to John Yakuza? Don't you just want to go, see those vending machines that sell fucking, underwear?
Like all that dumb shit. Number one, yes, actually, I do actually want to see if those exist. But number two, no, let me tell you specifically, being an anime fan here, what I hate about anime fans, but in specific, shonen tards. That's what I like to call them. If you're a shonen fan, go fuck yourself. Shonen fans are, in my opinion, equivalent to, what are they called? Marvel fans, where essentially you can put any movie, any sort of like fight, or just the question of, what would happen if you did Spider-Man versus Wolverine? And then these people would be fucking screaming, coming, and just shitting their pants with excitement. And that's how I feel about a lot of shonen shows. I've looked at a lot of fights from, I don't know, a little bit of Naruto, some One Piece fights, the big three, as people like to say, fucking JJK, fucking JoJo. Now, JoJo's the one I have the most experience with, but what do all these shows have in common? A lot of the fights have more talking than fighting. A lot of people will sit there at even the thought of slice of life, because they'll think that slice of life is, they'll do the same joke of, grocery store, yeah, how did that feel? 12 episodes of nothing. Just shut the fuck up. 300 episodes of where your supposed cool-ass fights take place, where what happens is, they throw one punch, and then they're like, oh man, yeah, you're pretty good. And then the other one's like, yeah, I know, but here's where I get serious. And then, okay, one move, another move, and they're like, damn, he's taking it serious. And then that's every fucking fight. That is literally every fucking fight I've seen from every show ever. But, going back to the JoJo thing I said, part 3 is a good example of this, where those shonen anime really like to go hard focus on fights, to where they have like 2 episodes of that fight, and then on top of that, it's always like, it's typically the same thing. It's always going to be in like part 3. It's just going to be Jotaro just hurling his fucking fist, and then that's it. He gets put in a situation. They're like, oh man, dude, what the fuck? This guy's a stand. And then after that, Jotaro's like, oh, wait a minute, I can use my fist. And then boom, that's it. 2 episodes of that. I don't like shonen tards. I don't like shonen at all, as a matter of fact. I've tried to give it a chance, and every fucking time I'm just bored out of my mind. And yet they sit there and call my favorite anime mid. Brushing that off. Now, I'm a slice of life enjoyer. And going, what I just referenced like 5 minutes ago, where I just said that like, oh yeah, the grocery store hit different. Yeah, that's how I feel about slice of life fans, where they do sort of a similar vein of shonens, where they'll like literally stand out of their chair fucking yelling, screaming, because the new boring ass fucking 4 high school girls attending class, for 12 episodes where nothing crazy happens, and all they do is sit down and then they just talk about like food or some shit. That's pretty much what a lot of slice of life is. And look, I don't blame you for having that opinion. It's more so I'm just fucking pissed off because a lot of slice of life fans just recommend the worst slice of life. I've seen shit like K-On!, fucking Lucky Star, what are other, like, really boring dog shit ones? I can't even fucking remember right now because I just woke up from a nap and I'm doing this video. But those are two good examples where those two fucking suck. Actually, no, the worst slice of life I have actually ever watched is, Hyoka, that's it. It's the same studio that animated K-On!, and that shit fucking sucks. And that's my big issue here, if you can see, with these two, different genres. Both of them fucking suck. Both of them suffer the same exact problem of them being very samey and pretty much having similar issues. They're just two different sides of the spectrum. And look, there is good slice of life, okay? I'll name you a few. We have fucking Nichijou, Azumanga Daioh, and Gabriel Dropout. I recently watched that shit, and that shit's still fire. Our next topic is Valve Fanboys. If you're not new to the channel, then you should know this is probably like my 5th fucking time bitching and moaning about Valve Fanboys. I won't go too long onto this subject, but I'll try to keep it a TLDR. Even today, through the entire TF2 discourse with, save TF2, fix TF2, all of that, I can still tell you, no. If you saw that recent live stream that Zesty put out, which had, it was Richter Overtime and Swoozy, was that his fucking name? I think that might be his name. I could be getting it wrong, but something like that. You could just simply tell how out of touch a lot of the people that are holding these protests. The fact that he, fucking Zesty and Richter was legitimately trying to tell him, dude, maybe what we should have done from the start is just not spend money on the game. And Susie was like, oh, but the feasibility, no one's gonna do that. And it's like, oh yeah, so first of all, you want to talk about feasibility, and your dumbass thinks that a fucking petition is going to go make Valve do anything, yeah, you're kind of retarded. And even through all the trials and tribulations that the entire TF2 fandom has had, I still see videos of people talking about, like, man, this game was so kino. This game literally saved my marriage. And it's like, yes, the game was fine, but I'm going to be real with you here, man. Like, TF2 should not be treated, especially nowadays, as this fucking savior of gaming. Because, to be quite frank with you, TF2 shouldn't be known as that. If anything, it should have been the first fucking Half-Life, because that actually did push gaming to be something. And speaking of Half-Life, the Half-Life fans are purist retards. I'll make an entire video on this because I do have quite the few wise words to go spread, but just note that any mod that comes out of the Half-Life 2 scene, if they even dare to go touch the, like, vanilla bit of it and, like, add some rendition on it, I'm trying to keep it very vague here because, I want to make my video surprise when it does come out, then what they'll do is that they'll kick their fucking feet in the air and then start screaming. And that's all they are. They're purist retards, or any mod, they will scream and say it's dog shit compared to this 2004 dated, Kino. And to be quite frank with you, Half-Life 2 kind of fucking sucks. But whatever, story for another time. Anyway, stop dick riding this company that doesn't care for you. The next thing we have is adult cartoon watchers. I don't got any beef necessarily if you are, an adult watching a cartoon. As a matter of fact, I sort of respect it. I know plenty of dads that kick it back and watch fucking regular show and all that. That's actually cool as shit to me. But when it comes to the actual fandom, and in a way, I guess you could say I'm specifically targeting Twitter and fucking, like, a few YouTube content creators. All they do... Do you remember that video I made? Just, oh yeah, fucking... new thing bad or whatever the fuck it was. It was literally that. It was just new thing bad, old thing good. And that's what a lot of these people do. Reviewers and the people on fucking Twitter, these cartoon watchers. They'll go back and talk about the glory years when it comes to Family Guy, when it comes to fucking The Simpsons, that basic shit. And yes, oh, how I know, the fucking golden years for those shows are long gone. You don't need me to tell you this, everybody knows. But what good does it do when you guys constantly fucking complain about the same exact thing about that piece of media. Say what you want about it, but there's a very clear reason why this, the Simpsons have like 50 seasons or whatever now. It's because they literally, it's still okay. It's just okay, nothing more, okay? Keep that in mind. They're still on TV because they're doing fine. I'm pretty sure they'd pull the plug on it, assuming it wasn't. It's the same thing with SpongeBob. You hear people say, oh man, the new SpongeBob fucking sucks and the old one Kino. And yes, that's true. But if you've seen any, of the episodes nowadays, it's fine. And now, this next one, oh boy, do I got something to say. And that's Bronies. Now, hot take here, this is very out of place, but this kind of leads into the next one. I actually don't have any beef with Bronies. See, I've seen a few episodes of the show, and the show is fine. I can kind of understand why, how this is a franchise. But to be fair, I don't really see Bronies anywhere today. As a matter of fact, I'd be hard pressed for you to go find one like one out in the wild. If anything, I actually kind of respect the fandom because nowadays, not before, because before it was something else, but nowadays they literally just go into their own niches and just kind of play with their fucking toys away from everyone else and just mind their business. So to an extent, I actually have to go salute to them. I kind of wish a lot of other fandoms would do that because I wouldn't be here doing this, stupid fucking rant. But leading into this, furries. My issue with furries isn't inherently the idea of a furry, because I actually know a furry. And he described him being a furry not in the sense of, oh, he wants to get a fursuit, he wants to go, do horrific acts to animals. It's more so the fact of he enjoys the art style, both in terms of actual art, that Twitter people make, or shows or movies, kind of in the sense of Zootopia or something. Which, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna bitch and moan about that. That's actually also respectable. But the problem is that whenever I go onto, a TF2 server, whenever I go onto Twitter, just anything, a lot of these furries, pardon me for profiling, but I think a lot of these are porn addicts. I've seen so much furry porn online, not even trying to find it. It's crazy. Whether it be through someone retweeting it, whether it be a 24/7 Dust Bowl server where someone has a fucking conscientious objector and it's on there, it just gets to a point where I don't think this is a joke. I've seen it on Steam profiles. I've seen it on, of course it was blurred, but on YouTube. I've seen it on fucking forum posts and Reddit and shit. I've seen this on Discord servers. It's fucking everywhere. And that's what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? This is the same thing I neglected to mention during the anime thing. But at least when it comes to the anime thing, right? It's only okay, the anime fucking producers just do the same joke every time. And even then, it's not every single show. With this, it seems like everyone does this. It's hard for me to not fucking, stable it to this group of people, but holy fucking shit, that's literally all I see. That is literally all I see. And there's one thing I don't like, and holy fucking shit, it's when I'm just minding my business, scrolling down fucking whatever social media site I'm using, and then all of a sudden I just see a giant fucking wolf cock, and I'm sitting there wow, that's so cool. And then I do another scroll. It's why? Literally, why did you just have to put that in front of me? Literally, right in front of my sandwich. Alright, there's not much of an end to this video. If I'm being honest here, just take it from me when I say that being a part of a fandom is terrible. I would go as far as saying that, if you go too deep, it can be kind of like a drug. You'll just end up following, going down the rabbit hole and then just losing it, You know that quote? The longer you look into the abyss, the more it looks back at you, or something like that. That's kind of how I feel about fandoms. If you go there at a certain age or a certain time, that might be one of the worst mistakes you ever do, because now you'll just come out and you'll be dangerously cheesy. So, yeah, take it from me, the Shrine Maiden. Yeah, donate $100 to my Patreon, and I'll see you later.